Before you hear what he whispered, understand this. One sentence, one secret, was enough to burn an entire Wild West town to the ground. So before this story unfolds, subscribe to the channel and hit like, because stories like this are buried by history, and only you can bring them back to life. The town of Black Hollow looked peaceful from a distance. Wooden buildings stood quietly under the afternoon sun, horses tied outside the saloon, dust floating gently through the air. But peace in the frontier was always a lie. Beneath the calm lived fear, greed, and secrets that never stayed buried. She stood in the middle of the street, hands clenched at her sides. Her name was Eleanor Hart, the schoolteacher. Too kind for this place. Too honest. Too dangerous. People said Eleanor didn't belong in Black Hollow. A woman like her, with clear eyes and a steady voice, was a threat to men who ruled by fear. She taught children how to read, but worse, she taught them how to think. That was why Caleb Rourke had stepped so close behind her. Caleb was known as a whisperer, not because he spoke softly, but because everyone he spoke to ended up silent forever. His black hat cast a shadow over his eyes, and his reputation reached farther than his gun ever could. The street grew quiet as he leaned in. Eleanor didn't move. She didn't scream. She didn't turn around. Then Caleb whispered. "You're not as invisible as you think, and I know what really happened to your father." Her breath caught. No one had spoken of her father in years. The town believed he had died a drunk, another broken man swallowed by the frontier. Eleanor had lived with that shame every day. She had swallowed the whispers, the judgment, the sideways looks. But Caleb's voice didn't carry mockery. It carried truth. He didn't fall off that bridge, Caleb continued. He was pushed. And the men who did it, run this town. Eleanor's hands trembled. Around them, Black Hollow went on as if nothing had happened. A door creaked. A horse snorted. Somewhere, laughter spilled from the saloon. But Eleanor's world cracked open. "You're lying," she said, though her voice lacked conviction. Caleb stepped back just enough for her to see his face in the corner of her vision. "I don't lie about the dead," he replied. "Especially when they were murdered for seeing something they weren't supposed to see." Her father had been a bookkeeper for the rail company, the same company that owned half the land around Black Hollow. The same company that paid the sheriff's wages. Eleanor turned slowly now, meeting Caleb's eyes. "Why tell me this?" she asked. Caleb's jaw tightened. "Because your father tried to do the right thing. And because the same men who killed him are planning something worse." The wind picked up, lifting dust between them like smoke before a fire. Caleb glanced toward the sheriff's office. "They're selling this town," he said. "Selling it piece by piece. The families. The land. The children you teach. And once the papers are signed, anyone who knows the truth disappears." Eleanor's chest tightened. She thought of her students. Of the mothers who trusted her. Of the fragile hope she had brought to Black Hollow. "And you?" she asked. "Why aren't you dead?" A humorless smile crossed Caleb's face. "Because I learned to carry secrets like a loaded gun. And because they think I work for them." Silence fell between them. Eleanor realized something terrifying then. The secret wasn't just about her father. It was about a choice. If she stayed silent, Black Hollow would survive, but rotten at its core. If she spoke, the town would burn, and she might burn with it. "They'll kill you," she said. Caleb nodded. "Eventually." He leaned closer again, but this time, his voice was steady, almost gentle. "Your father died trying to stop them. You can finish what he started. Or you can walk away and live a quiet life somewhere else." Eleanor looked around the street. At the children peeking from windows. At the people who had learned to keep their heads down. Black Hollow wasn't innocent. But it wasn't hopeless either. "I won't run," she said. Caleb studied her, searching for fear. He found none, only resolve. "Then listen carefully," he said. because what I'm about to tell you will destroy this town, before it saves it. As the church bell rang in the distance, Eleanor understood the weight of the secret now resting on her shoulders. A truth powerful enough to tear down men who thought themselves untouchable. A truth worth dying for. And as Caleb stepped back into the crowd, disappearing like a ghost, Eleanor knew one thing for certain. Black Hollow would never be the same again. If this story pulled you into the dust and danger of the Wild West, subscribe to the channel and like this video. More forgotten stories, dark secrets, and untold legends are waiting for you.